Hello and welcome to the SUDG hole previews for SUDG Super Sunday. It's our first tournament on the common, and today we've got a little hole preview. Joined by myself today is Fergie Ferg.
Hey guys, how you doing? We're going to show you all the holes, give you a kind of idea of what you're going to be needing to throw, and when the mandos are and all the drop zones. Let's hope we have some good weather on the day.
Exactly. A little bit of inside info, a little bit of hole preview. So let's go ahead and start into hole number one as we look around the common. So hole one, here we go. It's a par 3, 271 feet. You want to be throwing something stable to overstable for a right-handed backhand and having it go out to the right, fade, and then land just behind this tree for the basket.
Do you have a forehand line if you want to go left of the big tree, but if you end up in them brambles, it's pretty difficult to get out for your scramble.
Exactly, yeah. Mistake people make is hyzering out a bit too early. And here we go, hole two.
It's hole two. This plays as an island hole with hazard. It's quite a generous drop zone too, about 30 feet circle.
Exactly, yeah. Just get it inside the circle and you'll have a good putt and a birdie. Here we go, par 3, hole 3, 246 feet. This one is a double mando between the trees. If you don't make the mando, you'll proceed straight to the drop zone.
I like to throw a forehand, something quite stable, throw it out on a kind of bound on a forehand, try and get it to flip over, come back to the left of the oak tree and then just curl back round.
Exactly. Right-handed turnover or a forehand shot with a double mando, and that leads us on to hole 4.
Hole 4 is a nice tunnel gap with a mando on that tree on the left, as you can see. It's quite tight when you go through that gap, so just try and keep it just before that tunnel at the end and then punch through for your putt to the basket.
Yeah, exactly. Like a nice layup option would be probably about here in the middle, but if you really want to go for it, you can pierce through this gap. It's very straight off the tee, but a precise shot is needed to get that birdie. So here we go, hole 5, par 4, 420 feet. You want a long straight shot with a left stable finish, and we're just going over the FPO Junior tee pad at the moment as well.
Road plays as OB, to try not to get it in there. There is a drop zone if you go there. Also on the left of that gap is jail, so try not to end in there. I'd say if you want to run it, something that turns over, goes to the right a bit, comes in left. If you just want to play it safe, just play up to the mouth of that gap.
Yeah, exactly. The green is quite protected, and as Ferg said, it's absolutely jail on the left, so you definitely don't want to be in any of that stuff for your protected green upshot.
This is hole 6, par 3. This is a nice easy one. For me, this is a good forehand flick just over these bushes, or just like a normal putter up shot. It's simple, just get it under the tree, try and take your birdie and move on.
Yeah, I think this plays as one of the easiest holes on the day. It's not really that long. The only thing you got to worry about is that right-handed backhand hyzer hitting those trees on the right and leaving you an obstructed putt. But generally, no OBs, no nothing. Quite an easy hole, straightforward.
Hole 7's par 364 feet. It's quite a tight gap. You can do a roller and try and curve it round, or just go straight for the gap, even with a step putt, and just get it down there. Hopefully you can get your bird. If not, it's quite an easy par, quite generous.
Yeah, we call this one Ferg's special hole because obviously Ferg is the mastermind behind this as well. It definitely needs some unlocking, so maybe an overstable disc or an understable disc. Either one could lend you the birdie. Here we go on to hole 8, par 3, 257 feet. It's a medium length technical wooded hole. You'll have to throw something fairly straight with a stable finish at the end to navigate through this tight wooded gap.
I like to throw something like the Mako or the Svea, just a very kind of straight shot with a mid-range. Just try and get it down there and be soft. Hopefully you don't hit too many of the trees.
Yeah, it's important to remember on this hole that nothing is OB. On the day there will be flags marked out for the longer hole, hole 17, but on this hole there's no OB and the water is played as casual.
This is hole 9, it's par 3, 260 feet. Straight tunnel, straight down. You got a lot of trees in the way, so just try and be gentle with the shot. If you saw something down there, you're likely to skip off and be in trouble.
Yeah, really, height control is a major thing on this hole. You want to get it about shoulder height, really, and just have it glide all the way down there with something flippy, something understable, and leave yourself somewhere near the basket. Early trees are a real caution to look out for on this hole.
There's a roller option there, but I think just mid range again, you'll be flying and loving it. Hole 10. This is a par 3. It's 312 feet. Similar to hole 1 again, you're just trying to try and get some power out to the right and hyzer back in around that oak tree. Like I said, you can try the forehand line again, but best to stay out of them brambles.
Yeah, it's a lot of a tighter gap on the left-hand side. On the right, you've just got so much open fairway and so much space. So really go for that distance shot and have it fade round to the left with a bit of distance control, and that's how to get the birdie on this hole. Hole 11, here we go. It's a par 3 for the MPO division and a par 4 for any other division. It's 310 feet over a hazard area. You do have a option to go out to the right over the open stuff, but if you really want to go for it, you do risk the hazard. You'll end up near a layup green area. That is absolutely fine, and it's all within about 40 feet.
This is hole 12. It's a par 4, 389 feet. There's OB until you reach past that double Mando. So if you're feeling for it, I would say mid-range just past the Mando, but if you really want to give it the run for eagle, just something nice that will turn over, keep it low, try and get it down there for your birdie look.
It's important to remember that this is the FPO tee pad that we're looking from. So we'll just go over to the men's now, or the mix, sorry, and we'll be able to see the option for this hole 12. There is no layup option. You do have to make the Mando, and anything that doesn't make the Mando will have to go to the drop zone. After that, you'll be left up with a about 150, 200 foot upshot into the green. Hopefully, if you make it through though, it should be very straightforward. The real key on this hole is making the Mando.
Big risk and reward this hole. Alright, this is hole 13, par 5, 769 feet. First shot, you just want to get it out of this. Nice little hyzer at the end, or maybe a skip shot. We're going to be coming around to see the FPO tee pad as well for the same hole. After that, it's just a nice straight shot. You can see Steve throwing one here. Nice straight shot up to this gap again. That same tree is going to be a Mando, so you've got to keep right of that.
Yeah, the idea is you do have to play through that gap on this hole. There is a gap straight forward. The tree just to the left of the gap is the Mando, so you have to go right. You can't play out to the left. And really it is a test of distance and accuracy.
For the more aggressive players, you probably want to be trying to get past this Mando tree on your second shot. Then you've got a nice look through that tunnel to go for your bird or even an eagle if you can get it.
Yeah, I'd say anything up to the gap is pretty doable to get into the basket, wouldn't you, Fer?
Yeah, definitely. You can also go over this stuff and hopefully land in if you kind of have a different look.
Yeah, it's like a 30-footer from the gap anyway.
This one is hole 14. It's a kind of gap to punch through straight away. It's par 4 for MPO and par 5 for everyone else. 508 feet. So just try and get out of this gap in your first shot. Again, hyzer, maybe a bit of skip if you can.
Yeah, first shot you just really want to get out of the gap, throw something stable, have it fade round a bit to the left, and then you'll have this straightforward upshot to the corner as you go around. To the left is absolute death. You'll never get your disc back if you throw it in there, so you do have to play round to the right and take the gap as it is, and there is a Mando with the tree at the gap on the left hand side, so you do have to go round to the right and play the course as it is.
If you can land your second shot just before this gap too, you got a nice look again to try and get maybe some eagles or some birds.
Yeah, if you're like 50 feet before the gap, you can just throw a simple hyzer around, so there's actually no need to really go for it unless you are going for that eagle chance.
Hole 15, par 3, 227 feet. This for me is my favorite. It's just a straight high hyzer. You can't see the baskets. You just got to have a guess and try and get it there. But we've nearly aced it before. We've hit chains. So just aim high, have it come straight back in, drop by the basket.
Exactly. Yeah, that bush in front of you isn't really that tall, so you can just go for a big hyzer over it. But I guess my tip is make sure you look at where the basket is when you go to the tee pad. Leading on to hole 16, par 3, 172 foot. This is a classic SUDG hole in the woods. A little skip shot is what's needed, or a tight hyzer with something really overstable. If you're left-handed, maybe go for that forehand. And it's a very tight hole, but a very short one as well.
Definitely an ace opportunity here.
Exactly, yeah, that sharp dogleg left leads to something overstable.
This is hole 17. I think it probably goes as one of the hardest holes on the course. Par 3 for MPO, par 4 for everyone else. 289 feet. You have to clear this gap. There's also going to be OB anything right of the stream. So I would highly recommend, if you throw the hyzer, it's more likely to skip over to the right. So maybe a forehand for your first shot. Depends what you got, or maybe just a nice turnover disc straight down that alley.
Yeah, watch out, because that stream and anything to the right of it is OB, so you will be going to that drop zone. It's a really tight hole with a little river on the right.
This is hole 18, par 3, 291 feet. A little bit further back than previously, so it's a bit of a harder gap to hit straight off the tee pad. But again, I'd be going with something with a mid-range, just trying to glide it down there and play a safe par. And hopefully a birdie if you can just hit that tight, low gap.
Yeah, when me and Ferg were actually filming this, I parked it with a Meteor. I just did a standstill with a little understable mid-range and just threw it about chest height, let it turn over, and that'll lead for your birdie. Brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed that SUDG hole preview. Hope you enjoy it on the day as well, and I hope this insight has given you a little bit into what's going on with the holes and how to play them as well.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care.
Cheers, guys.